The silent stroke trap hiding in your morning routine. Welcome to Healthy Aging. Let me ask you something simple, yet deeply important. What's the first thing you put into your body every morning? For millions of older adults, the answer is something quick, something easy, maybe even something they've eaten for decades. A bowl of cereal, a muffin, a slice of toast, a glass of juice, maybe a little bacon on the side. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Now here's the part no one wants to talk about. Every 40 seconds, an American over 60 is rushed to the emergency room because of a stroke. That's right, by the time you've finished this sentence, someone's life has just changed forever. Sometimes it happens without warning, sometimes without pain, sometimes without even knowing what hit them. And the scariest part? Many of those strokes didn't have to happen. It's not just genetics, it's not just aging, it's the tiny choices we make every day. Starting with what we eat as soon as we wake up. You see, certain breakfast habits, the kind we rarely question, can silently raise your risk of stroke. Not just by a little. In some cases, by 2 or 3 times. And the damage doesn't happen overnight. It builds, meal by meal, until one day, the body says, "Enough." Now before you panic, this isn't about fear. This is about power. Because once you understand what's really going on inside your body, you can make small, smart changes that make a huge difference. Changes that protect your brain, your memory, your mobility, your life. So in this video, we're going to reveal 9 common breakfast foods that are far more dangerous than they look. Why they're especially risky for anyone over 60. What they're doing to your arteries and your brain without you even realizing it. And 3 powerful foods that act like natural armor, shielding your body from stroke and helping you stay strong and sharp for years to come. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what to avoid, you'll know what to embrace. And that simple shift could be the difference between a vibrant future and a preventable crisis. So grab your tea or your coffee. Sit back and stay with us until the end. Because what you learn today could save your life or the life of someone you love. The breakfast foods silently raising your stroke risk, foods number 9 to number 7. Now, let's get into it. We're counting down the 9 most dangerous breakfast foods for people over 60. And number 9 might surprise you. Because it's something many of us associate with comfort and childhood. Number 9. Pancakes and waffles. There's something cozy about a warm stack of pancakes or waffles on a lazy morning. A little syrup, maybe some butter, it feels like a treat. But if you're over 60, this classic comfort food could be quietly putting your health at risk. Why? Because most store-bought pancakes and waffles, especially the frozen kind, are made with refined carbohydrates. These are processed grains that have been stripped of their fiber and nutrients. What's left breaks down in your body like sugar, fast. That quick sugar spike sends a wave of insulin into your bloodstream. And over time, those daily spikes start damaging the inner lining of your blood vessels. The walls get stiff, inflammation sets in, and eventually, your arteries become the perfect place for blood clots to form. Not only that, many frozen pancakes and waffles also contain trans fats, which lower your good cholesterol and raise your bad cholesterol. It's a recipe for blocked arteries. And blocked arteries are the doorway to stroke. Having pancakes once in a while isn't the problem. But if they're on your plate week after week, that's when the real danger starts to build. Number 8. Store-bought muffins. They may look innocent. Blueberry muffins, bran muffins, even ones labeled whole grain. But behind that golden crust is something you don't see, a powerful combination of refined flour, added sugar, unhealthy oils, and hidden sodium. In fact, some muffins have more sugar than a glazed donut. And the sodium? You might not taste it. But it's there, and it matters. Because high sodium levels raise your blood pressure. And high blood pressure is the number 1 risk factor for strokes. On top of that, commercial muffins are calorie-dense but nutrient-poor. They fill you up without feeding your body. And for older adults, that's a dangerous trade-off. Especially when the body's natural ability to repair blood vessels has already slowed down. In simple terms, that muffin might be tasty, but it's like adding fuel to a fire that's already burning. Number 7. Bacon. We know, just hearing the word bacon can make your mouth water. But when it comes to stroke prevention, bacon is one of the worst breakfast foods you can choose. Here's why. Bacon is loaded with saturated fat and sodium, a double threat to your cardiovascular system. Saturated fat raises your bad cholesterol. Sodium raises your blood pressure. And when those two forces combine, they damage the walls of your arteries faster than almost anything else. But it doesn't stop there. Bacon also contains nitrates and nitrites, chemical preservatives that increase inflammation and oxidative stress throughout the body. Both of those weaken your blood vessels over time and make it easier for dangerous clots to form. Eating bacon once in a while won't destroy your health, but making it a regular part of your breakfast? That's like laying down bricks on the path to a future stroke. Let's pause here for a moment. So far, we've covered pancakes and waffles, muffins, and bacon, 3 breakfast staples that seem harmless, but are anything but, and we're just getting started. Coming up next, we'll break down foods number 6 to number 4, including one item that's sitting in almost every fridge right now, and another that pretends to be healthy, but hides more sugar than a dessert. Stay with us, because what's coming next might be in your kitchen right now. The healthy breakfast foods that aren't so healthy, foods number 6 to number 4. Let's keep going. We've already looked at 3 popular breakfast foods that quietly raise your risk of stroke. Now, we're diving into the next group, foods that pretend to be healthy, but can be just as harmful, especially after 60. Number 6. Flavored yogurts. You grab a yogurt cup with fruit on the label. It says low fat. It says probiotic. It looks like a smart choice, right? But here's the truth. Most flavored yogurts, especially the ones on supermarket shelves, are nothing more than sugar bombs in disguise. One small container can contain as much sugar as a candy bar. And when you start your day with that much sugar, your blood vessels immediately feel the impact. Your blood sugar spikes, inflammation begins, and over time, the delicate lining of your arteries becomes worn and brittle. A major analysis published in 2020 confirmed it. High sugar consumption is directly linked to increased stroke risk, especially in older adults. And it gets worse. Some of these yogurts also contain artificial sweeteners, which may sound healthier, but studies show they can actually disrupt gut health and increase insulin resistance, another dangerous factor when it comes to stroke. So that fruit-flavored yogurt may not be helping you at all. In fact, it could be opening the door to silent vascular damage with every spoonful. Number 5. White toast with butter. It seems so simple, so harmless. A couple of slices of toast, a pat of butter, maybe a little jam on top. But when you're over 60, this classic breakfast can quietly work against your brain and your heart. White toast is another refined carbohydrate. It quickly turns to sugar in your bloodstream, triggering the same blood sugar spikes and insulin surges we talked about earlier. That roller coaster puts serious stress on your arteries. And the butter? Unless it's from high-quality sources. Most commercial butter is loaded with saturated fat. Just like bacon, this type of fat increases your LDL cholesterol, which can lead to plaque buildup in your arteries. And here's the silent danger. That plaque doesn't just sit there. It can break off, travel through your bloodstream, and block blood flow to your brain, triggering a sudden stroke. The scary thing is, toast and butter doesn't feel unhealthy. It's not greasy. It's not sugary. It's not processed in a wrapper. But its effects are slow, silent, and real. Think of it like a slow leak in your home. One drop at a time, day after day, until the whole foundation gives way. Number 4. Fast food breakfast sandwiches. We get it. Life is busy. You're on the go. And a warm, satisfying breakfast sandwich from the drive-thru feels like the perfect solution. But for seniors, fast food breakfast sandwiches are one of the most dangerous traps out there. Why? Because they combine several high-risk ingredients in one bite. Processed meats like sausage and bacon, artificial cheese, white bread or biscuits, and more sodium than your body needs in an entire day. Too much sodium pulls water into your blood vessels, raising pressure against the walls. That constant pressure weakens the vessels, making them more likely to rupture. Now add the saturated fat and processed oils, and you've got a recipe for clogged arteries and inflamed tissues all throughout your cardiovascular system. A study published in 2018 confirmed it. Seniors who regularly eat fast food have significantly higher blood pressure and a greater risk of stroke. Even if it's just once or twice a week, the long-term damage adds up. We're now more than halfway through the list, and the next 3 foods are the ones people trust the most. In fact, food number 2 is almost guaranteed to be in your fridge right now, and it's hiding under a label that says, healthy. But don't be fooled. Up next, we'll reveal the final 3 stroke-triggering breakfast foods, including the one that shocked even doctors when the research came out. Stay tuned. You're about to learn how to protect your brain like never before. The final 3 foods that could be setting you up for a stroke. Foods number 3 to number 1. Welcome back. If you've been following this countdown, you already know how common breakfast foods, pancakes, muffins, bacon, even toast, can silently damage your arteries over time. But now we're getting to the worst offenders of all. These final 3 are especially dangerous because they pretend to be healthy. Some are even marketed as brain-boosting or heart-smart. But the truth? They could be setting the stage for a stroke. And for older adults, the risks are even higher. Let's get into it. Number 3. Granola and granola bars. Granola has a great reputation. It shows up in health magazines, on clean eating blogs, in pretty packaging with pictures of nature and nuts and seeds. But don't be fooled by the branding. Most commercial granolas and granola bars are loaded with added sugars, refined oils, and hidden sodium. Some contain more sugar per serving than a candy bar, and many are cooked in vegetable oils high in omega-6 fatty acids, which trigger inflammation when consumed in excess. Now remember, inflammation is one of the main drivers of stroke. It weakens your arteries from the inside out, making them more vulnerable to clots, plaque buildup, and rupture. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that a high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, which is common in granola cooked with low-quality oils, is strongly associated with cardiovascular disease, including stroke. So even though it feels healthy to grab a granola bar or pour a bowl of crunchy goodness, you could be doing more harm than good, especially if you're over 60. Number 2. Orange juice and other store-bought fruit juices. Here it is. The breakfast drink that nearly every household keeps in the fridge. For years, orange juice was seen as the ultimate healthy start. A burst of sunshine, a glass of vitamin C, daily ritual. But here's what the juice companies never told you. Store-bought fruit juice is incredibly high in fructose, a form of sugar that your body processes differently than glucose. When you flood your system with fructose, your liver turns much of it into fat, leading to fatty liver disease and higher levels of triglycerides in your blood. High triglycerides are one of the strongest predictors of atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of the arteries, and a major risk factor for stroke. Even 100% pure juice causes a rapid spike in blood sugar. Why? Because once you strip away the fiber from the fruit, you're left with pure, concentrated sugar. A 2019 study in the British Medical Journal confirmed it. Drinking large amounts of fruit juice is linked to a significantly higher risk of stroke. And here's what makes it worse for seniors. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at managing sugar. That means your morning juice is hitting harder than it did in your 30s, and your arteries are less able to recover from the damage. It may look healthy, it may taste refreshing, but that glass of juice could be silently eroding your vascular health with every sip. Number 1. Processed breakfast cereals. This might be the most surprising one of all. Because breakfast cereal, especially the kind labeled with phrases like heart healthy or fortified with vitamins, has been sold to us as a smart way to start the day. But the reality? Most boxed cereals are ultra-processed, loaded with sugar, refined carbohydrates, artificial flavors, and even hidden sodium. When you pour a bowl of cereal, you may think you're doing your body a favor. But in reality, you're often giving yourself a massive blood sugar spike, the kind that leads to inflammation, insulin resistance, and over time, serious damage to your arteries. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that a high intake of ultra-processed foods was linked to a 30% higher risk of stroke, especially in older adults. And there's another problem. Most cereals don't keep you full. So what happens? You eat more later. You snack. You graze. And that often leads to weight gain and increased blood pressure, which are both major contributors to stroke risk. It might be fast. It might be easy. But processed breakfast cereals are setting millions of people up for long-term health problems, and many don't realize it until it's too late. Now that we've uncovered the 9 everyday breakfast traps that increase stroke risk, the big question becomes, what should you eat instead? Coming up next, we'll reveal the 3 foods that act like a natural shield for your brain, powerful, protective, and easy to add to your morning routine starting tomorrow. If you've been wondering how to take control of your health after 60, you won't want to miss this. Let's give your brain the protection it deserves. The 3 powerful foods that help protect your brain from stroke. You've made it this far. That means something important. You care about your brain, about your body, about the life still ahead of you. And that's good news, because while the risk of stroke is real, and many common breakfast foods are making it worse, you're not helpless. Not at all. In fact, some of the most powerful tools for stroke prevention aren't locked away in hospitals or hidden in prescriptions. They're right in your kitchen. Let's talk about 3 simple, natural foods you can start adding to your morning routine right now. Foods that have been shown to protect your blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and help keep your brain sharp, even as you age. These are more than just ingredients. They're allies. Let's meet them. Brain Shield number 1. Blueberries. If there's one food your brain craves, it's this one. Blueberries may be small, but they're absolute giants when it comes to brain protection. These deep blue fruits are packed with anthocyanins, powerful plant compounds that help reduce inflammation, relax blood vessels, and protect the inner lining of your arteries. Think of them like a cleanup crew. Every time you eat blueberries, you're sending antioxidants into your bloodstream to fight off the damage caused by free radicals, those unstable molecules that silently wear down your cells. A landmark study in the journal Circulation found that people who ate a high amount of berries had a 32% lower risk of heart attack and stroke compared to those who didn't. And here's the best part. Blueberries are naturally low in sugar and easy to add to almost anything: oatmeal, smoothies, yogurt, even plain by the handful. Fresh or frozen, it doesn't matter. Their power stays the same. And your brain? It thanks you with every bite. Brain Shield number 2. Avocados. Creamy, delicious, and incredibly good for you. Avocados are one of the best sources of monounsaturated fats, the kind of fat that helps lower your bad cholesterol and raise your good cholesterol. But there's more. Avocados are rich in potassium, a mineral that balances out sodium levels in your body. And remember, excess sodium raises blood pressure, which is the number 1 risk factor for strokes. So every time you eat avocado, you're doing 2 things. You're clearing your arteries, and you're reducing pressure inside them. A major review in the British Medical Journal confirmed that higher potassium intake is linked to significantly lower stroke risk, especially in older adults. You can mash it onto a slice of whole grain toast, blend it into a smoothie, or add it to scrambled eggs. However you eat it, avocado is working hard behind the scenes, keeping your blood vessels flexible, open, and strong. Brain Shield number 3. Walnuts. If your brain could choose its favorite nut, it would be this one. Walnuts are often called brain food for a reason. Their unique shape even resembles the human brain, and their benefits are just as impressive. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, which helps calm inflammation throughout the body. And as we've seen, inflammation is one of the root causes of stroke. Walnuts also contain magnesium, which supports healthy blood pressure and helps keep your blood vessels functioning smoothly. One study in Nutrients found that regular walnut consumption improves something called endothelial function, in other words, the ability of your blood vessels to relax, expand, and carry oxygen to your brain. Just a small handful of walnuts in the morning can make a real difference. You can toss them into oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or chop them into a homemade granola. Unlike store-bought versions, yours won't be drowning in sugar. It's simple, it's powerful, it's brain fuel. Let's take a breath here. You've just discovered the 3 most protective foods you can add to your morning: blueberries, avocados, and walnuts. Each one targets a different cause of stroke. Together, they form a kind of natural armor around your brain. But this isn't just about food. It's about choice. It's about awareness. And it's about the quiet, powerful steps you take every morning that shape the rest of your life. Because after 60, every decision matters more, but every small improvement brings bigger rewards. In the final part of this series, we're going to bring it all together. The risk, the routine, and the roadmap to a stronger, safer you. So stay with us. Your future is still being written, and it starts with breakfast. The healing morning routine, putting it all together. So here we are. You've made it through the list of the 9 dangerous breakfast foods. You've learned what they do to your arteries, your brain, your body, and you've discovered 3 simple, healing superfoods that can help protect you from one of the greatest health threats we face after 60. But now comes the most important part of all, what to do next. Because knowing the truth is powerful, but acting on it, that's what changes lives. And the good news is, you don't need to overhaul everything. You don't need to throw away every food in your kitchen. You don't need a perfect diet or a complicated meal plan. What you need is a shift. A gentle, consistent shift toward better. So let's take a look at what a brain-friendly morning might actually look like. A healing morning could start like this. You wake up, you hydrate with a glass of water, maybe with a little lemon. You take a deep breath and stretch, just enough to wake the body up. Then comes breakfast, but not the old breakfast. This time, you skip the processed cereal. You ignore the frozen waffles. You leave the sugary juice in the fridge. Instead, you build a plate that fuels your brain. A bowl of warm oatmeal with a handful of blueberries. A few walnuts sprinkled on top for crunch and brain support. On the side, a slice of whole grain toast with mashed avocado and a pinch of black pepper. Maybe a cup of green tea or black coffee, without the sugar crash. It's not complicated. It's not trendy. It's not about counting calories or tracking macros. It's about creating a calm, nourishing rhythm to start your day. One that lowers inflammation. One that stabilizes your blood sugar. One that keeps your arteries soft, flexible, and flowing freely. What you're really doing is this. You're sending a signal to your body. I'm here to care for you. You're telling your brain, I want you to stay sharp. I want you to stay strong. And you're telling your future, I'm not waiting for disaster. I'm building protection, one morning at a time. Because stroke isn't something that happens out of nowhere. It's the result of years, sometimes decades, of silent buildup. But that also means you have time. You have space. You have the power to make choices right now that will shape the next 10, 20, even 30 years of your life. And here's the beautiful part. Every single small change adds up. Every muffin you don't eat. Every cereal box you leave on the shelf. Every time you reach for blueberries instead of a sugary snack. It all counts. So let's wrap it up with this. Stroke risk after 60 is real. It's growing, but it's not unstoppable. By avoiding these 9 common breakfast dangers, by embracing 3 powerful, healing foods, and by making your morning a time of care, not damage, you are giving yourself a better chance, a safer path, a brighter mind, and most importantly, you're choosing to live with awareness, not fear, because this isn't about living scared. It's about living smart, and living strong. So tomorrow morning, as the sun rises and the world is quiet, remember what you've learned here. And choose the breakfast that honors your health. Your brain deserves it. Your heart deserves it. You deserve it. And if this video helped you see things differently today, help someone else see it too. Tap the like button. It tells us you want more videos like this. Share this video with a friend, a parent, or anyone you care about. And subscribe to Healthy Aging for more insights, strategies, and support to help you thrive, not just survive, in every stage of life. Until next time, take care of your mornings, and they'll take care of you.